Hey everyone, Chris here from the EcoSend team. I'm delighted to show you this quick demo of our Gravity Forms integration. Gravity Forms allows you to send any signups to your WordPress site via the Gravity plugin straight into EcoSend. So let's dive in and show you how you can get your subscribers from your website into your EcoSend contacts. So from the EcoSend setup page, I'm going to head down to integrations and I'm going to scroll down to find Gravity Forms from the list and click install. Now the first step is to download the Gravity Forms WordPress plugin for EcoSend in order to add it to our plugin list. So I'll hit download, which will bring it into my web browser download. And while that's processing, let's jump into Gravity Forms and we're going to head to plugins and add plugin. So this should be very familiar to anyone who's used to using WordPress. We'll head into the add plugin, upload plugin, and we'll just grab that Gravity Forms file from our list. So there's the zip file, it's now installing, so we'll click Activate Plugin. And we can now see if we scroll down the list of the Gravity Forms demo plugins that the EcoSend add-on has now been activated here. So our next step is to jump back into EcoSend and grab the API key, which we're going to insert into the EcoSend Gravity Forms plugin section. So we're jumping into Gravity Forms and Form Settings. If we head to EcoSend and EcoSend Settings, we can now enter in the API key here. So that's now all updated and ready to go. So let's head to our forms and link them up in order to send these existing forms and in order to send their submissions straight into the EcoSend contacts area. So we'll begin with our advanced contact form and let's hit edit. And into the form, we can bring up the EcoSend list, the EcoSend from the drop-down list, and create the feed. So the feed is important because this is how we're going to map the properties from Gravity Forms into EcoSend contacts. So to begin with, we have an option to add these submissions to a list. Now, thanks to the integration, Gravity Forms has pulled through the list of EcoSend lists I have in my demo platform. So to demonstrate that, if I go back to EcoSend, I have my lists here, and I want to send these users into my newsletter list in order to include them in upcoming newsletter sendouts. So let's add these submissions to send through to the EcoSend newsletter list. Next, let's make sure these properties match on. So we want email address to match on to email address in EcoSend and the first name and last name to match on as well. Now we can also add custom fields. So one custom field I definitely want to add is the form title. So let's add a custom field because that doesn't already exist in EcoSend. And we will name this as Gravity Forms title. So that will help me differentiate the users when they come through into EcoSend, and I'll be able to see the lead source coming from that Gravity Form title. This is really useful if you have multiple forms across your WordPress site. You might have one for your newsletter, you might have one as a general contact us page, inquiries, etc., demos, etc. So if you want to differentiate between the forms, this is the key area to use. So let's save the settings and let's send through some test submissions. So heading to preview, we'll now build out a form. So let's now send that through and we'll now jump into EcoSend to see that form submission coming through into our contacts area. So jumping into EcoSend, we can see my profile has now populated into the newsletter list, and that will now be added for my newsletter communications going forwards. And I could also head into my contacts area if I wanted to search for any profiles that had come through this form specifically by adding the filter Gravity Form. And that brings up the profile here as well. So again, if we're sending through multiple different forms from Gravity Forms, we could have Gravity Form is newsletter form, Gravity Form is contact us page, etc. So we can help differentiate between which forms are sending this data into EcoSend. So I hope this demonstration has been helpful. I hope you enjoyed using Gravity Forms and getting your submissions from WordPress straight into EcoSend contacts to send out your climate conscious campaigns. Thanks very much for watching.